Now, what is the right mindset that you need as an investor? Because honestly, out of all the students that I've coached, the ones with the right winning mindset, the mindset as I'm an investor, those are the ones that actually start investing and continue to invest. And that's what we're going to talk about today, how you can actually have your mindset be right so you can actually buy rental properties, be able to quit your job. Hey, everybody, my name is Dustin Heiner with Master Passive Income, and I'm here to help you learn how to quit your JOB, that just overbroke job, by investing in real estate rental property so you never ever have to work a job again. And with me is my co-host Charles. Charles, how's it going, man?
Man, it is going fantastic. It is always amazing to be on with the show with you and to just share some tips to help others, to help them achieve their dreams.
Now, in this episode, we're going to be talking about the more mindset stuff, but also in the next video that I'm going to be putting out, check the link in the description, it'll be there as well. We're actually literally going to give you the steps to actually find amazing deals in this crazy real estate investing market. So be sure to watch that next video as it comes out. Charles literally has 3 deals literally this week in under contract. He's buying them at a discount. He's doing really, really well. Charles, quickly touch on how are you able to get 3 deals in this crazy market at a discount, lower than asking price when everybody's paying over asking price.
Yeah, Dustin, it's crazy and mind blowing just to think about it. And and I would say, it definitely started from having the right mindset, the investor mindset to get those deals because it can be discouraging in this market. And and some people just may get out of that mindset, but I was able to get in the right mindset and use some of the same strategies that we're going to talk about in the next video, like Dustin mentioned. So definitely watch that. And just by using those strategies and being consistent and taking everything I learned from the Master Passive Income courses and Real Estate Wealth Builders and learning from my coach Dustin, I was able to apply everything, keeping that right mindset, and get 3 deals on the contract.
It's phenomenal. And you, with investing just a little over 2 years, you're just about ready to be financially independent, to be able to quit your job. How many properties, Lord willing, if everything works out with these 3 properties, how many properties would you have right now?
So with these 3 properties, we would be at 11. We would be at 11 rental units, and so which takes us even closer to reaching our goal. We're going to be, I mean, with these properties, we'll probably be maybe like $100 away from our passive income exceeding our expenses.
Praise the Lord, man. That's phenomenal. I'm so excited. I mean, shoot, it took me, I don't know, 6 years before I was like, okay, I have enough properties I can quit. But it's taken you 2.5 years. I mean, that's just phenomenal. So now, what's interesting though is somebody might be watching this video or listening to this on the podcast and be saying, you know what, mindset, I'm going to just blow right past this. I don't need this. Well, in fact, I usually think like that. I'm a doer, so I don't necessarily think mindset. But I realize that only after I got the mindset was I able to actually be the doer to actually build my business. Now, 30 plus properties later, literally don't have to work. I quit my job like 4 or 5 years ago. Will never ever work a job again. But it was because of my mindset. Now, what's really super fun to see is that I can literally teach anybody how to invest in real estate, how to do it right, how to buy a property where you make $250 a month in passive income, how to scale your business. If you buy one house at $250 a month, that's $3,000 a year extra in your pocket, passive income, not doing anything. You buy 10 properties, that's $30,000 extra a year. You have 20 properties, that's $60,000 a year. That's the bare minimum. Hopefully, most of the properties you're going to be getting over that. Now, what I can do is I can literally teach anybody how to do that. But what do, I can't get them in that mindset to say, yes, I can do this. I have somebody like Dustin that can walk me through the entire process. It's the problem in their mind telling them and limiting themselves and other people, putting their limitations on them, saying, you know what, I had a rental property, it didn't work out, there was this problem and that problem, so you shouldn't do it. Well, they're putting their limitations on you. So I want you to realize that you absolutely can do this. And this is why we're doing this episode, is because it is so much more important to have the right focus, the right mindset as you're going through investing, because these focuses and these mindsets that we're going to be going through are going to help you get through the hard times and make the good times even better. Now, the first thing that we always try to realize ourselves as investors at Master Passive Income is even though we may be working a job, and when I say just over broke, your job is your just over broke job. You're working a job and you may want to be an investor. As soon as you realize that you are now an investor, your job is not who you are. You are telling yourself, I am now an investor. That job, that's my side job. It may be that you 100% of your money comes from that side job, but you need to tell yourself in your brain, I'm an investor. I'm an investor with a side job, but I am first and foremost an investor. So when somebody asks you, well, hey, Dustin, what do you do? I literally tell them, I am a real estate investor. I invest in real estate. It may be that I still have a job, but hey, it doesn't matter. I put the value on myself. Nobody else does that. So for you, everybody else listening and watching this, you need to make sure that you have that mindset that you are an investor. Now, I remember, Charles, walking you through this and having you get that. How much did this help you to actually make that shift to becoming an investor? And now, almost 2.5 years later, you might be able to quit your job.
Yes, Dustin. I just love that we're talking about this in this episode. And if you're listening, please continue listening to this episode all the way to the end. It's your choice, but I would encourage you because I would say Dustin really, like he said, can't force anyone, but he helped me to get in the right mindset. And one of the things was definitely is knowing and saying and believing that that you were an investor with a side job. In fact, I literally went over that and said it so many times. I I had my Alexa alarm wake me up in the morning, saying that I'm an investor with a side job, and
Yes.
that really helped me, Dustin, because I always wanted to invest, but I never pulled the trigger. I was too afraid or felt so overwhelmed or just sometimes listening to other people thinking, oh, who had a bad experience with a property and a tenant. And so all of those things messed with my mindset. But it wasn't until I got in the right mindset, believing that I'm an investor with a side job and taking action. So which is, because you can have all the mindset you want in the world, but if you don't take action with that mindset, you won't go anywhere. So I absolutely love this topic, Dustin, and just having that right mindset has helped me so much, especially in this crazy market. And we're going to talk about more ways that you can invest in this crazy market, but it starts from having the right mindset.
Yeah, and a big thing that everybody needs to realize is that yes, you can do it. I know the limiting belief thing in that there's so many problems, or my uncle had a rental property and it was horrible. The tenants trashed it, or whatever. All these problems, all these thoughts come to your mind, like, am I going to lose money? How am I going to make money? All these issues come to your mind. The first thing that you need to do is start realizing that number one, you're an investor, but number two, that you can do it. See, again, I can literally teach anybody how to do it, but to actually go and do it, you need to tell yourself that, yes, I can do it. Now, for everybody, I want you to actually get started. I want you to get my real estate investing course. If you go to masterpassiveincome.com/free course, I'll literally give you my real estate investing course absolutely for free, showing you how to do everything, how to actually find properties, how to do it right, how to make sure you're making money, $250 a month in passive income, find a new area of the country to invest, how to find the right property managers, literally everything. Go to masterpassiveincome.com/free course or check the link in the description as well, because that is literally going to get you to the point where you have the knowledge now. That knowledge is going to help you to realize that, yes, you absolutely can do this. Like, again, I can teach anybody how to do it. They need to. You listening to this or watching this, you need to be the one to say, yes, I can do it. What do you think, Charles, about saying, yes, I can do it? And I personally keep my money in the Life Goals Home Down Payment ETF, saving your down payment at a bank yielding 0% while home prices are going up in double digits. You're getting crushed by home price inflation. Check out conservatively managed Life Goals Home Down Payment ETF. The ticker symbol is HOM. No lockup, no minimum, no attempts to keep pace with price inflation. And oh yeah, you get a 2% dividend every single month. I love getting my dividends every single month. I just put it right back in HOM. So full disclosure, I invest in that as well.
Oh, that is so important because you're affirming to yourself that you can do it, and you're believing that you can do it. When you believe something, that's another topic for another day. But when you believe in something, belief is so powerful and when you and it causes you to take action. And so saying that you can do it, saying I can do it, and knowing that you can do it, looking at other success story. I love one of the things that Dustin always, tells me and other students: if he can do it, we can do it. If somebody else can do it, you can do it, because you have the same ability as them. You have everything, like, and in some videos we talk about Zillow. You have access to it, they have access to it, we all have access to it. And so if they can do it, you can do it. So believe that you can do it and say it.
100% agree. Now, we're going to give you some more principles or more mindset things that are going to help you get through the hard times and make the good times even better. The next thing that you need to do is be driven to succeed. Because in starting out, it's going to be rough. It's going to be a lot of work. You're going to get roadblocks. If you don't force yourself to get past those roadblocks, if you're not driven to actually be successful, then you're going to give up. There are so many people that just give up because they say, oh, it's just hard. I'm not finding the deals, or this, that, and the other. They start making excuses. You want to be driven to succeed and knowing that this actually works. I'm just a regular guy, just like Charles is saying. Like, if I could do it, literally anybody can do it. I'm not that smart. This is just something that I figured out, and it's so simple. It's literally just addition and subtraction and multiplication. Nothing else. Like, you add up all your expenses, you figure out your income, you subtract the two, and then you make passive income of $250 or more. Multiplication is literally, if you're making $250 a month from one property, multiply it by 10. That's $2,500 a month. Multiply it by 20. That's $5,000 a month that you can make in passive income. And so you need to be driven. Once you get that first property, this second property comes so much faster. All my students in the Real Estate Wealth Builders, all my coaching students that I help, as soon as they buy that first property, usually the second property comes within maybe 2 months. The first property comes maybe about 3 or 4 months, where they're working hard, we're building the business, we're doing everything right. But as soon as they get that first property, man, that second property comes so much faster. Now, Charles, you're absolutely driven. I remember when we first started coaching, you said, man, I'm going to buy 12 deals. I'm going to make my goal 12 deals in 1 year. You got halfway there, which is so much better. Most people won't even get one. You got halfway there, but you were very driven. How did being driven help you to succeed and be where you're at now?
Being driven is definitely what helped me, because I knew in my mind that no matter what, I'm an investor with a side job. Back to that, right? And no matter what happened, sometimes we're afraid of failing or making mistakes, but we all going to make mistakes. But one of the things I love about Dustin and the programs he's created is that he made he made all of his mistakes, and we can learn from his. And so he teaches us to not make those same mistakes he made. And I would say that's definitely helped me in my business. But going back to the goals, oh man, I love planning goals. I'm looking at my office wall right now, and I have goals like all over the wall right now. And it helps me. It keeps my mind focused on the task ahead. And we talked about that in some other videos and episodes. And also in the course, we have a goal setting program where we help you create goals, and you have a success part. You can sign up for the Success Partner program that could help you stay accountable to the goals. So I love having goals, Dustin. I definitely agree that being driven has definitely helped me to get to the point where I'll be financially free this year.
Yeah, and you're putting in offer after offer after offer. That's why you literally have 3 deals right now. Great deals that are going to be making you loads of money because you're driven. You're pushing through. Now, you touched on something, and this goes into our next point, is you always need to be learning how to be successful, more successful in this real estate investing business. You always want to be teachable. You always want to be learning, because as you're building your business, you're going to realize something that didn't work. You need to rip that out of your business and put it aside and do what's right. In fact, what's even better is if you've given my free real estate investing course, that'll literally get you down the track of learning how to do it. But the great thing is, I've literally done it. Charles has literally done it. Hundreds of our students at Master Passive Income have done it. All you need to do is learn the plan, learn the step-by-step process, and literally implement it. If you do that, you're going to be successful, because we put in so many safeguards, like the minimum amount that you need to buy the property for, how to make sure you're buying the right property, how to make sure you're managing the property right. And so as you're learning, as you're putting in effort to learn to do it right, you're going to be more and more successful, because all the mistakes that I've made. Like literally, I probably made every single mistake. Like people say that, but no, I literally, no joke, I've literally made almost every single mistake that there possibly can be. And I figured out that's a mistake. Let me rip that out of my business model so I don't do that again. Now, Charles, you're constantly learning. You're always learning how to be better yourself, but also a better real estate investor. How has learning been key to helping you to actually be where you're at today?
Learning is been definitely helpful to me because when you learn something, you become better at it. And for me, I always take the approach. Everybody's different, and you have to find yourself. Some people, they feel better just jumping into it and figuring out the way. I'm the kind of person. Maybe it's because I'm I'm an engineer, so I'm an investor engineer, and so maybe it's because I'm like that. I like to analyze something and then jump into it. And so for me, going through your course, Dustin, was so great because I was able to watch all the videos and learn the fundamentals and the basics and the advanced things and all that, and then I was able to take it and apply it. And that's just my style of learning. I know some people, it may be harder for them to do it that way. Maybe they do it at the same time, maybe do a course and take action at the same time. If it works for you, do the course and do it at the same time. But I like to learn, and then, you never stop learning. So you learn along the way. So, so I'm always asking questions. I'm always researching stuff. And, anytime I come across something that I don't know, I'll ask Dustin. And, so it's always be learning, because that's going to help you to build your business and do it the right way.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with that. I'm always learning too. I'm trying to learn as much as I can, and I even learn from my students in seeing how they've actually succeeded in different things that they've done. I'm always learning, so you need to be learning all the time. Another great tool that you need to do as an investor, the mindset that you need to have, is to be others focused. You need to focus on other people, how to serve and help other people. I have found the more people that I serve, the more people that I help, the better my life gets, the better I feel, the more money I make. Like literally everything happens when I help more people. It could be you buy one rental property. You're helping one family with a good place to live at a decent price, rental price, but you know that you bought it at a good price for you, so you're making money and passive income. You're helping that, but that family. But if you're also going into working with other people, like real estate investor meetups or like online Facebook groups or something like that, you're being helpful to other people, or even private money lenders or hard money lenders, like everybody that you work with in this business, you want to be as helpful as possible. When people see you as somebody that is a good person, that is going to be helpful, that wants to, benefit other people, they're going to say, hey, you know what? I like this Dustin guy, or I like this Charles guy. Let me go ahead and help him. I have a good deal. Let me go and bring it to them. So I personally love being as helpful and others focused as possible. What do you think, Charles?
I agree with that 100%. And one of the things I do, Dustin, is I don't get to do it with everyone, but a lot of times with my like my home inspectors, my property managers, my realtors, sometimes a lot of calls, a lot of times I'm talking to them, I'm figuring out how can I help them. How can I serve them better? Like, can I recommend something for someone? Can I teach them something that I know? And especially I've been blessed to have a really excellent, phenomenal home inspector, and he's such a great guy. He's my eyes on the ground. He helps me a lot of stuff. And I told him the other day, one of these days I was speaking to him for like an hour on the phone, and 5 minutes of it was about me, but the other 55 minutes was about him, like helping him with something that I was able to help him with. And so it's so important to be others focused. And like Dustin said, through helping others, you're going to be helped. I'm not saying help others because you want something in return, but maybe that person may not be able to help you. Maybe somebody else may help you. But always be others focused, help others, because somebody has to help you where you're going. So it's so important for us to pay it forward.
Now, the next thing, and this is going to be crucial as things start to get a little more slow in the business. Like you're trying to find properties and you're not getting a property, or you're really just running out. Like you're like, oh my goodness, like I'm just not moving forward. It's persistence. Persistence is the next thing that you absolutely must have as an investor mindset, you're going to be persistent because you know the route that you're going to be going. Most people aren't going to do this. Most people in the world would not be as forward as us to say, you know what? Yes, I'm an investor. Yes, I'm going to be persistent. Yes, I'm going to learn. Yes, I'm going to help people. Yes, I'm going to do all this sort of stuff to help myself to be successful. Now, when it gets hard, persistence is the only thing that's really going to help you push through it, because we know that it's once you've done it 2 or 3, 4 or 5, 6 times, it's easier to not have to worry about being persistent. When you don't have any properties and you're getting started, that's when it's so crucial to be persistent. And then as you grow, you're going to realize the persistence is still needed every single time, because once you get that first property, you're going to find the second, third, fourth, fifth. They come much, much faster and easier. But throughout the entire time, you're going to be persistent. Now, I've been persistent for so long, like literally it's a part of me. I don't know how to not be persistent in my business to make sure it gets done. Now, Charles, when you are going after deals, you have 3 properties literally on a contract now that you're going to be able to buy, which is great, but you were persistent. It's not like you put in 3 offers and you got 3 properties. You're persistent to put in more and more offers, like getting turned down. Okay, let's do another one, and keep putting more and more offers out there.
Yeah, Dustin, I literally had to put in, so many deals just to get those three, and even like, I got one almost under contract, so the seller agreed, verbally with an email, and we were waiting all weekend for them to send a signed contract, and they didn't put it through, and so what I do after that, just keep on putting in more offers. You got to be persistent, and I've been completely blessed, to have my wife help me with this process, and that's why I'm able to put in so many offers, because she's literally looking at properties all day, analyzing deals, and I come through, look at the numbers, and we're able to work as a team and just encouraging each other, through the ups and the downs. And so, because I remember early on, looking for my first property, it was getting a bit discouraging. And I remember my wife, she was like, don't give up. Remember why you started this. You told me you're going to make me proud. And so, so just be persistent, and if couples or friends or anybody listening to this, encourage each other to keep going, keep pushing. And that's another thing I just love about being a part of the Real Estate Wealth Builders, with Dustin and Master Passive Income, is because we have a whole support system to help us, to help push us, to help us to stay consistent, and I just love it.
That's great, man. Now, another thing that you need to have is patience. Now, what's going to happen is you might get a little impatient because you might not be getting a good deal. You might not be finding many deals, or you might not have many people bringing you properties, or you might not even have financing, or your property manager is, doing something, whatever it might be. You need to have patience in this business. What I love about real estate, as opposed to the stock market, I'll tell you what the stock market's like for me. So the stock market is such a roller coaster. It could literally crash in 2 hours. Like some bad news comes out, and all of a sudden you thought you were like $50 a share. Now it's literally like at $10 a share. You lost a lot of money. That happens so fast. Real estate moves so slowly. I see things coming from like a year or 2 year in advance. So it moves so slowly. The thing that you need to do though is to be patient, because if you get impatient, you might pull the trigger and buy a house that's probably not the right one because you're impatient. No, we're investors. We only buy the right properties, and we're patient to make sure that when a good property comes, we buy it. But when a bad property is in front of us, we're not impatient. We don't go after those properties, or we don't buy them unless we can get it at a good discount, which makes it worthwhile as an investor. So I found patience has been one of the best things for me, because there would be times where you don't have a deal for maybe 2 or 3 months, maybe even 6 months. But then all of a sudden, boom, maybe 2 or 3 deals come right in that next 2 or 3 months. So I found that patience has just been such a huge blessing for me, realizing that, hey, I'll get there. This is a get wealthy plan, not a get rich quick scheme. I'm not here to tell you that you're going to get rich fast at all, but it's a plan. Do step by step, you're going to get there. If you're patient, you will get there so much more fast than if you're impatient. What do you think, Charles?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that, Dustin. And this is advice that when some people, hear this advice, they may not like it. A lot of people, I mean, let's be honest, we live in an instant gratification society. Most of us do, at least. And, we want it, and we want it now. We have fast food, we have microwave, we live in a society where we get it now. And, with real estate, you have to be patient. And that's something that Dustin definitely encouraged me to do early on. And, a lot of times, you all hear, my success stories and all this stuff, which is great, but I had to be patient to get there. And, finding my first deal, it took me, about 7 months to get to to get to that first deal. And I was looking for properties before I signed up for the coaching. Thank God none of those offers got accepted, because I didn't know what I was doing. It was terrible deals out there. Thank God I found you, Dustin, because
Praise the Lord.
oh yeah, praise the Lord. Another story for another day.
There you go.
But so it took about 11 months before I was able, if I count that time searching before, doing your coaching, Dustin, it took me about 11 months to get my first deal, and so I had to be patient. But you know what? It was worth it, because I learned so much. And I was doing all that stuff in other markets, and when I finally got to the market where I was looking, a lot of people thought I was a professional real estate investor. So all of that was my building ground to become really good in other markets. And it's just so crazy, after waiting those 11 months, Dustin, it just seemed like, like I'm like closing properties like right after, like one right after the other. And so just be patient. I say all that to say, be patient, learn as much as you can, take all this advice, get in the right mindset, and you will find, whether it's your first property, your 10th property, or whatever property you're on, be patient. It will come through once you be patient.
And the next mindset, we're actually going to go back to the very first one, which is you are an investor. You have a side job. It might be that all your money comes in from your side job, but you are an investor. Tell yourself that, internalize that, and say, I am an investor. Every single person you talk to, from family to friends to acquaintances or random strangers, you tell them you're an investor. You invest in real estate, and that's how you provide for yourself. You might have a side job, but you're an investor. So, all right, you guys, this has been everything about mindset. I'm so glad that you are here. This is it for Master Passive Income, Dustin and Charles. We'll see you guys later.